brothers and sisters, Trinity de Guzman coming at you right now from northern Thailand with my little puppy Rainbow, who is from me and my partner. And I wanted to record a video because I know it's been a little bit since I last shared a little bit about my life and about what's happening with ayahuasca healings. I'll give you a little update about ayahuasca healings, but more so, this is going to be about why I've been so out of touch from, making videos. It's been such an intense year, and it's been extremely powerful and beautiful in so many ways to really teach me and show me so much about myself. I'm sure many of you are aware of what's been happening with the Ayahuasca Church in the United States, where, we opened this church in Washington and then we had to pause our church services sharing ayahuasca so that we can file a petition with the DEA in order to get complete legal protection in order to continue to share ayahuasca in the United States. And actually we have received a response, several responses from the DEA, and we've been back and forth over this year with them, and we are submitting our final request for information from them within the next few days. And we'll share more of that as that continues to unfold, but first and foremost, I just want to share that anybody and everybody who has had an experience with us as an organization, and if you've had a negative taste in your mouth about what you've experienced with us, it is nothing but our highest intention to make sure that we will balance the scales energetically and make sure that if any of you have ever donated and have not yet received your retreat, then we'll make sure that you will get that, or something else that will energetically compensate you for the incredible role that you played in helping us get to this point in filing this exemption or this petition with the DEA to get the exemption. So that's just a little update on the Ayahuasca Church in the United States. And if you want more information about how we're sharing ayahuasca, just click the link in the description. But I want to more so share with you about what's been happening in my life and the deep levels of self-awareness that have just come automatically from the intensity of this year. I'm sure a lot of you have had, a very difficult and intense year, because that's what the flavor, the theme of 2016 has been, which has been like a purification. There's been so many experiences that have been coming up that have really been forced to show us deep layers about our unconscious patterns or beliefs or perceptions of the world that keep us stuck in a loop of suffering. And this year has happened, and there's been many intense experiences for many of us so that we can see what is happening within ourselves that is creating these negative experiences or these challenging, difficult experiences in our lives. And for me, one of the biggest things that I've received this year that's been so humbling was to really look at the separation between what I thought, a spirit was guiding me to create, and actually seeing what was my own mind or my own ego that was behind the strings of the little marionette. In other words, where am I wanting to create from the mind and the ego versus where am I really being guided from spirit? And I noticed that there were certain patterns that I had within myself that created situations that were difficult for me and rippled out to hurt other people. And I'm sorry. I'm human, and I'm going through this journey just like all of us. And I'm only doing my best to, of course, to give, to share, to serve, to teach, to love, and to be a being of light that can support others in that same path. And yes, I screw up sometimes. And yes, I'm still learning a lot about myself and my patterns and my unconsciousness that, of course, I'm doing everything that I can to clean up as fast as possible, but it's a lot. We all have it, we all have these patterns and unconsciousness and things that we do that hurt ourselves and hurt others. And the question is, what are we doing when we see those patterns within ourselves? What are you doing when you notice there are certain habits or traits that you have that you're not happy with? Do you continue to live them and continue to act out the same scene in a movie with different people in situations that create pain and suffering within you and other people around you? Or do you stop and really go inside to find the roots of why you do those things, why you act the way you do, why you react or respond in anger or rage or jealousy or resentment or sadness or take things personally, whatever it may be? Why do you do these things? What is it in the past that happened that is making this scene in your life colored this way? In other words, nothing means anything but the meaning you give it. And so everything in this life, in this reality that we experience, is a blank canvas. So no matter what happens, let's say you get into a car accident, that is a blank canvas. That has no meaning. But you, as the creator of your reality, you give that situation, that experience, its meaning. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it makes you angry, or whether you can be non-reactive to it. That is completely dependent on you and how you choose to paint that picture. And this awareness of nothing means anything but the meaning you give it is one of the greatest gifts that I've received from one of my spiritual teachers, about understanding that if something is making me upset, it's not the experience externally that is the problem. It is inside of me, and I am projecting my own beliefs onto this situation and making it something that makes me upset. And so ultimately, nothing externally can make us unhappy if we can understand on a deep level that we create and we give each situation its meaning. So if someone is bothering you, if you think something out there is making you upset, it has nothing to do with that situation or that person, but everything to do about you, about what's in your own heart, about your past, about different experiences that happen to you that make this situation as bothersome as it might be to you. Does this make sense? One of the greatest mantras that I've ever learned from another spiritual teacher of mine has been, it's not about what it's about not them, and nothing's going to change until I do. Meaning, whatever we think is making us upset, it's not about what it's about. So if we think, this person has done this thing, whatever it might be, that is making us upset, it has nothing to do with that. It's not about them. So we think we're mad at this person because they did this XYZ thing to us. It actually has nothing to do with them. And nothing's going to change until we do, which means we're going to keep creating the same situation again and again with different people unless we heal the part of ourselves that is attracting this experience to our lives. So we can finally see the root cause about why we create these experiences that are difficult or challenging. It is only there in our lives so that we can go inside and heal the energetic charge that is creating that. It's not about what it's about. It's not about them. And nothing's going to change until I do. And when we can have that complete accountability of creating our experience and not blaming the people externally if we're having a difficult experience, this is the fastest path to our spiritual evolution and growth. The fastest path to our liberation and our freedom from suffering and the challenges and difficulties that this human experience is so automatically filled with. And when we can understand that we create every experience, the good and the bad, then we can start to understand how can we shift ourselves internally so that we stop creating the experiences that are difficult or challenging for us. When we can finally learn what is it about ourselves that is creating that, what experience in our past, what trauma, what memory that is long... Excuse me, my camera overheated and I just had to move out of the sun. And so just continuing from that last flow, it just all comes down to what is it within ourselves that is creating the difficult experiences externally. When we can really start to take accountability for every experience in our lives and understand that we create all of it, then and only then can we really start to learn how to shift our reality so that it is more filled with positive experiences that really fulfill us on such a deep level. And so my life and this year has been so much about going inside and seeing, why have I been creating these difficult experiences? Why has there been all these challenges that have been happening with the church in the United States and even the retreats in Peru that we are running? And it really showed me on such a deep level the part of myself that was creating from ego, the part of myself that was creating from my mind, not completely based on what spirit guides fully in every moment, but from what I think I want, from what the mind is telling me is important. And it almost happened again in Mexico this year, where I wanted to create another center in Mexico, and I almost did that until I realized that I was following the same pattern, which is this addiction to doing, this addiction to creating, and understanding that I have a deep part of myself that wants to create, not because of the service. Yes, that's a huge part of it, but because of, honestly, this perception that might come from other people based on what I might create in the world. And also, like, approval from my father, from, really my father, and other aspects, like this aspect of rushing into things and going forward with things because it's just my MO, my modus operandi, my habit to just move forward with things without fully feeling if this is the right thing to do. And that served me a lot in the past, to just move forward and then figure things out. But when it comes to sharing this sacred sacrament of ayahuasca and to really supporting each and every one of you, or as many people as I can, in their path into themselves and really learning about who you really are, your deepest purpose and reason for being here, there is so much more care and consciousness that I have to have with every step and every action and everything that I put out there. And so this year has been so much about getting me to slow down. And I share all of this humbly, vulnerably, sharing my flaws, sharing that I'm not perfect, that I make mistakes, and I'm sorry. For every person who might have experienced something with me or our organization that was less than pleasing, I'm only doing everything I can to heal myself so that these things are no longer happening, and to just give the most that we possibly can as an organization, family, and community to really support others in their healing. And we're doing that in an incredible way. And if you want to learn more about our ayahuasca retreats in Peru, click the link in our description. And I just thank you so much for being here to witness this journey, this unfolding, these levels of self-awareness that are unfolding within me. And the non-judgment and the love of being able to understand that we're all human and we're all on this journey together, here to support each other, be here for each other. And thank you so much for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And with so much love, I'll talk to you soon.